Welcome to the 18th episode of Global Heat Map. This is an initiative by USI in which we take you through important international events and strategic issues of last week, which can be of use to people who are appearing in any kind of competition which involves current affairs or international studies. In today's episode, we will analyze how Trump 2.0 is impacting the world. The artificial intelligence war is heating up. We will talk about it. Iran is building its capacity to withstand attacks by Israel and US if required. And we will also do a little bit of analysis of Indian defense budget. After President Trump has taken over, he has been making a lot of statements, and his statements and announcements and threats are indicating a peculiar strategy. I call it as Trump's maximum pressure strategy, in which he would condition on the opponent, which is almost impractical and absolutely uncomfortable to the other side. And thereafter, he will start negotiating to come down and bring it down to the practical limits. Sometimes it is working, sometimes it is not. So let's analyze last week, in fact, 2-3 days back, he mentioned that we will take over Gaza and we'll make it a Riviera of Middle East. Now, this has been opposed by everybody in a manner. His allies are also opposing it. Afghan world has opposed it. The affected party, when he said the Gazan people should go to Jordan and Egypt, both these countries have opposed it. In fact, Jordan has gone to a limit that it is mentally getting ready that in case it is forced to be at war with Israel, perhaps. At the same time, the other global players like China and Russia, they have also criticized it. Well, it is a rhetoric, there is no doubt about it. But at the same time, it is taking away the intention and the mandate for which Trump was elected, and that is the internal pressure which is building up against him on this issue. Also, he may retract this statement, which is being done because they are modifying it and trying to justify as to what he meant. But notwithstanding that, a fair amount of damage has been caused by the statement itself, for the simple reason because when Hamas attacked Israel, one of the aim was that Palestinian cause is in the back burner, it should be brought to the front state. Entire Arab world should get together to back Palestine. Now, what Hamas could not do with that brutal terror attack, which must be condemned, I think one statement of President Trump has done it, because the entire Arab world is standing together and speaking for Palestine. Similarly, it has also made the truce between Gaza and Hamas and Israel fragile, because the first stage may go through, the second stage may find it very difficult. Similarly, it has also given some kind of assurance to Netanyahu, who is also going berserk in a manner that he is getting onto the offensive on the West Bank. He has violated the ceasefire with the Lebanon as well, and he has not got out of Lebanon. And there also, perhaps the offensive actions continued even during the ceasefire period. Similarly, he has taken some land in Syria as well, and I think the expansion and the idea of greater Israel is much stronger now. So whatever President Trump said made a lot of sense to the hardliners of Israel in a manner that they were looking at a Israel from Jordan River to sea, where nobody else stays. And perhaps what President Trump has said is apparently looking into that direction. So it is a music to them. But I think other than a small batch of hardliners in Israel, I don't think there is very much support to it, and it's a practical kind of announcement. I don't think that will work through. His other announcements and this strategy worked in tariffs in some manner. He announced tariffs for Canada and Mexico, and also he threatened Panama that we will take over Panama Canal. Now, taking over Panama Canal may not be a reality, but then the fact is Panama has yielded. They have given some concessions to United States, and they have also pulled out of BRI from China, because the threat which was being quoted was that Panama Canal is being operated by China, although they are doing only one part of the other. The canal certainly was in the hands of Panama. So Panama has yielded. Similarly, Mexico and Canada, they have also strengthened their police and the border control in a manner that they can stop drug trafficking as well as movement of people. So there also there were some concessions. But what has not worked is the threat to China. Yes, the 10% tariff on China has been responded by 15% tariff on US, which is reasonably uncomfortable to US, and I am sure there it is going to buy a lot of pain to the people of United States, certainly in the short term, but as President Trump says that in the long term it will be beneficial, that I think we will have to wait and going to be beneficial or otherwise. He also made some announcement on Ukraine to say that we will continue helping Ukraine if they mortgage all their rare earth elements to us. Now, as we all know, United States under Biden administration certainly provoked Russia, which was one of the reasons of the war. One of the aims was to build up profit for the arms lobby, for the energy lobby, and also with the kind of loans which were being given to Ukraine, certainly the Ukraine cannot pay back. So intention was always there that their rare earth, some of their real estate is going to form part of America in some manner or the other, whether through investments or through contracts. But I think President Trump had been a little more vocal and open about it, which has perhaps also brought very kind of adverse remarks. And certainly, Ukraine may not be too happy, although they knew, because President Zelensky, who is a puppet of United States, was put there basically to further the interest of United States, which includes all this. But then the fact is that this is a little too open to state as he has done so far. The immigrant drive has also started, that is his drive against the illegal immigrants who are in United States. We have also seen one flight landing up in India and some other countries like China, and everybody has agreed that whoever are illegal immigrants, we will take them back, provided it is confirmed that they are Indian citizens or the citizens of whichever country. Illegal trafficking of people, I think that must be stopped, and that is in the interest of every country. US has also been proactive, and they have also launched a strike in Somalia on the IS elements. Of course, Somalian government is also happy about it. There are no brickbats and no side effects. There were no problems as far as this particular strike was concerned. The crackdown on US aid has also impacted a lot of organizations. From President Trump's side, it is a kind of cleaning up operation in a manner that they do find that a fair amount of media houses and journalists and a whole lot of people were being given money out of this aid. But there were certain genuine areas also where this aid was being utilized in terms of medical, in terms of vaccines, in terms of environment, and some other noble causes that perhaps will have to hold because scrutiny is going to continue, and I think most of the people are on leave. The AI war started last week. The DeepSeek of China crashing the Western market of AI. In one day almost, the American AI companies lost almost $1 trillion. And then it was also realized, because this was a revolution where we found you do not need the high-end chip to develop AI. Maybe it can be developed in some other manner as well. And it also gives hope to many other countries that AI can be developed. Although after DeepSeek went public and started gaining much more traction than what the Western AI models had thought of, there was also a reaction that since they could not control the popularity of DeepSeek, they started quoting the security implications of that, and a large number of countries have banned DeepSeek, at least for the official purposes, whether it is Australia or it is some of the Western countries, as well as United States and many other countries. But at the same time, this has also given a hope that innovative models can be worked out. For India, it is important now. DeepSeek can be a security risk, but then all other AI models are no less a security risk as well. So therefore, the answer lies in we making our own AI model. I think IT minister has promised then before the end of the year, an Indian or indigenized AI model will be available, and also India would be working a lot on that. In the current budget, also a fair amount of allotment has been made on this. At least 3 to 4 times the allotment has been increased for AI research. We are also looking at, in fact, AI. India is the second largest AI market in the world now, and that is why the OpenAI chief was in India, in fact, is in India, and he is also looking at the market of India to popularize his AI model. President Trump also made a statement that Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. Now, the Iran did respond in a manner that a reasonable diplomatic response to say that we are in any case not making a nuclear weapon, and a fatwa has been passed by the supreme leader that we should not have nuclear weapons. So, therefore, we are not making one. But the fact is that they are enriching much more, and nuclear weapon is the only thing which uh, Iranians feel, or in Iranian hierarchy feels, that can save them from the threat of United States and Israel. So, therefore, the enrichment exercise would continue. At the same time, they knew the policies of President Trump, because in last Trump 1.0, he pulled out of nuclear deal. So, if that was the case, then they are mentally preparing how to preserve their nuclear assets from the air strikes by Israel and United States, and they have been preparing it for quite long. They have underground nuclear sites. Their operations are underground, and this week they revealed an underground missile city as well, which was the third one, and therefore all critical assets they are trying to put it underground with a fair amount of mud coverage, so that the capacity of the weapons which Israel and USA has does not impact what is the kind of facilities which they have underground. They've also started increasing their capacity building. They had a strategic partnership with Russia a little earlier, and now you will find that they last week they tested 1,000 kilometer of range cruise missile. At the same time, Iran also revealed a drone carrier ship, which is a new innovation in a manner. And before that, they also had declared and revealed a spy ship. And these are certain capabilities which Iran wants to dominate the Gulf, as well as to be able to operate in other areas as well. So, all in all, Iran is mentally and physically trying to upgrade its capacity to be able to withstand an attack, a joint attack or otherwise, from USA or Israel. Although at the face value, uh, irrespective of what President Trump has said, his policies would continue to be the economic coercion, although it has not made much of difference earlier. I don't think it is going to make too much of difference now as well, because they are already under fair amount of sanctions. Although President Trump claims that he would like to block every single drop of oil moving out of Iran, but that's practically not possible. Certainly, Iran will remain under pressure. That's the bottom line, and I don't think US is going to use force there. They are going to use all other means of coercion other than the force. At the same time, President Trump has also hinted that he doesn't mind discussing some other kind of deal as well. So that would also perhaps be on card. Also, we found that about 10 days back, the union budget was released, and for the aspirants of various competitions which relate to defense, let me just analyze the Indian defense budget. Um, it is somewhere around 78 billion, 6.81 lakh which is an increase of about 9.5% from last time. But when we look at the budgets of other countries, like China, which is a potential adversary, it is 296 billion. So that is about uh, 4 times India. So therefore, although we don't compare because Chinese aims and their ambitions are much more than us, so they may have much more budget, but we certainly need to have adequate budget to be able to deter China of doing anything against India. We had 2% of GDP as defense budget in 1962 war. Certainly now also we have 2% of GDP. So it certainly needs to be much more than that. It should be 2.5% in my opinion, at least. And uh, only additional money allotment is not good enough. We also need to have a fair amount of capability to absorb that budget. In other words, we should be able to manufacture as much. We should be able to speed up our processes, that whatever procurements we have to do, because even in last year budget, whatever budget was allotted was also not fully spent. At the same time, the other gray areas in defense budget are that for our R&D, we just allot 1%, whereas USA allots 13%. And R&D is the most costly element when we want to attract the private players into defense manufacturing, because they cannot sustain R&D cost unless they have a fixed order, which cannot be given before the competitive process. So therefore, some kind of hand-holding has to be done, which the government is planning, and a lot of reforms have been done, whether it is GOCO model, that is government-owned and commercially operated model, and sharing the intelligence know-how or technical know-how with the private players, and their hand-holding in the cost of R&D. I think that is all being done. Other good point is that this year we have exported 21,083 crores worth of equipment outside. Uh, it is expected that with some big deals going through, it can increase to about 50,000 crores in times to come, and that will help the defense budget and the capital procurement. Capital procurement is the modernization budget or the new equipment which we are buying, and revenue budget is the budget which is used for the normal day-to-day spending and pay and allowances and upkeep of whatever we have in the military. Now, a lot of discussions do take place that we should reduce revenue budget. Uh, it's a noble idea, but then the question is that we need a large standing army. Our requirements have increased tremendously. Our deployment has increased in high altitude in Ladakh, as well as in other areas. Uh, the border in Bangladesh is also requires a little more attention, and so is the border with Myanmar. So our day-to-day expenses of the military are also not reducing, and therefore there is a level up to which the revenue budget can be reduced. So I think there is a need for more allotment, because the capital budget and the capital procurement and the manufacturing cannot wait. uh, Government has laid a policy, and I think that's a very good one, that about out of the capital procurement, 75% of the budget will be used indigenously, and there are various positive indigenization lists which have been taken out for that. And uh, India is doing well as far as the indigenization is concerned and Atmanirbhar Bharat is concerned, and we should continue this path. So these were some of the major issues which happened this week. We will come up again next week with all the events which happen next week. Thank you very much.